Now, National Treasury has backed the South African Post Office in the payment of 17 million social grants from April next year.
According to a Treasury review report, SASSA scored the Post Office without considering an independent assessment by the CSRI. This led to the Social Security Agency disqualifying the Post Office. But the Treasury review has now given the green light for the South African Post Office to be the primary distributor of social grants.
The current contract with Cash Paymaster Services for the payment of social grants expires at the end of March. Remember, that was extended. A special team has been established to oversee the agreement. The new payment system may include commercial banks if the Post Office does not have the capacity in some areas. But some MPs say that 7-month delay by SASSA officials to reach a deal with the Post Office will still be scrutinized. They want to get to the bottom of what caused that delay. SCOPA, the Standing Committee on Public Accounts, and the Social Development Committee in Parliament will meet again in 2 weeks' time to get a report back around the deal between the Social Security Agency, SASSA, and the Post Office. All right, so SASSA and the Post Office have been ordered to reach an agreement over the distribution of those grants by the 17th of November. So that's just in a few days. However, a set structure on how the plan will unfold is still unknown. Joining us in studio from Durban is the Black Sash KwaZulu-Natal Regional Manager, Evashnee Naidoo. Ms. Naidoo, thank you for joining us. And Black Sash has always been concerned about the well-being, basically, of those millions of South Africans who rely on the payment of social grants. Is this deal in their interest?
Thank you so much for having us. Yes, as you know, the Black Sash is worried about what the impact is going to be should the grant system not go ahead or a payment system be put in place come the 1st of April 2018. We are thankful for the fact that the Interministerial Committee has now intervened and is looking at fast-tracking this process by putting together technical skills, capacity and other resources to ensure that there is some form of contract between SAPO and SASSA come the 17th of November. Our concern is that we're not quite sure exactly what it is that SAPO is going to be asked to provide. Will this be the same as the letter that was sent to them a few weeks ago, which also seemed to not have been finalized prior to the intervention of the joint committees and the IMC and Treasury? And we also are thinking as to how, if there's a hybrid model, what will this hybrid model look like, and what will be the role of the other banking entities that may be asked to also provide services, because it then seems that there will be multiple service providers involved in providing this national payment system that has to come into play next year. And also, how will all of the issues that has been raised in terms of what is required to create this payment system be looked at? Will there need to be a tender process that will require the outsourcing of other services? How will this process unfold? And especially given the tight timelines that we have, how will this all play out to provide a holistic system come the 1st of April 2018?
Yeah, basically what we have is a deal that these two parties, SASSA, led by the Social Development Minister, and the Post Office, will come to an agreement by the 17th of November. But like you say, very few details, and we know, if you agree with me, that the relationship between these two parties hasn't seemed smooth running thus far.
There seems to have been a lot of tensions, obviously, between these two departments. There seems to be a lot of misunderstanding. There seems to have been a lot of information that has not been shared with SAPO to obviously provide the best performance or the best information possible to assure SASSA or the country as to whether they will be able to provide the services. But we see from the due diligence report that you've alluded to earlier that they did indeed have the necessary capacity, but maybe they did not have the necessary information available that would have allowed them to show the confidence that they themselves feel in terms of being able to deliver on all the services that are necessary for a national payment system.
All right, thank you very much. That was Evashnee Naidoo from the Black Sash, very worried about the 17 million or so South Africans who receive these social grants. The Post Office says that a deal needs to be done. It looks like that paperwork is going to be done, and then it's just got a few short months to get this infrastructure in place to make sure that those payments begin from next April.